Well, the used car market is starting to slide yet again. We're going to talk about that in today's video. Before we get into this video though, some of the information provided comes from Cox Automotive, and then also, as always, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. As always, let's start with the numbers, and then we'll move from there and talk about what this means for the overall market. Month over month change, 2.3% in the red. Year-over-year change, 14%, also in the red. Now, the year-over-year change isn't as exciting. I know 14% sounds like a lot, and it is, but you have to remember we are coming off of some of the highest used car values in comparison to the relative, whole car market that we've ever seen. So yeah, of course, prices are going to fall from the peak. But yeah, that month over month change, that is pretty big. And this is with wholesale values. So this shows quite a bit of weakness within the overall market. Now, when it comes to cars selling at auction, they're selling for slightly below what they are valued at. So again, that shows some weakness. And when it comes to the sales rate, it's still around 60%. It's a little bit under. So it's not as strong as it should be for this time of the year, but it's not incredibly weak, right? It's close to what it should be. Now, if we dive into the individual segments, again, that year-over-year change, 14% in the red. Luxury cars, 12.9%. Compact cars, this is the one that I think is the most interesting because we're in a market where affordable cars are very important to buyers. Compact cars are generally more affordable, but still down by 17.6%. Mid-sized cars, 16.8% in the red. Pickup trucks, 15.2%. SUVs and CUVs, 14.5%, EVs, 17.5%. So that means that compact cars have higher depreciation than electric vehicles. And electric vehicles, that's the king of depreciation. And then non-EVs, 13.1%. So non-EVs slightly lag behind or are slightly better when it comes to year-over-year depreciation, as in they depreciate less compared to EVs and then also compared to the rest of the market. And so now that we've gone over those numbers, I want to talk about why this is happening. So one thing is interest rates. Interest rates are absolutely killing car deals with new cars and with used cars. Now, they're killing far fewer new car deals than used car deals because a lot of automakers at this point have some sort of cemented rate program where they're offering a lower interest rate on their new product compared to what you could get at a bank or a credit union. But with used cars, there's no used car factory, right? There's no manufacturer making these used cars that needs to, move them as fast as possible. So the interest rate that, banks and credit unions are offering on used cars is the interest rate that you can get. And so when you have used car interest rates in the mid-teens for people with solid credit, yeah, it makes sense as to why the market's going to be quite a bit softer. And the other thing I think is the continual price decreases that we've seen with new cars, right? Especially 2023 model year cars that are still on dealer lots. I talked about this in a few videos ago where Jeep Gladiators have 25% off of MSRP. So you can imagine used Gladiators are going to take a really big hit when you can get a new one for that much off of MSRP. And there are a lot of other cars that have these big discounts off of their original MSRP brand new. So it's naturally softening the used car values. And so I think those two things are really what's pushing the used car market to decrease in value. Again, high interest rates, so it makes it so it's not as affordable. And that could also be the reason as to why these compact cars keep losing value, because the buyers that usually buy these compact cars are usually buying them with credit. And if those interest rates are too high for them to buy them with credit, then there's supply and demand, right? The supply is going to keep increasing with these cars. They're going to keep getting traded in, and there's not going to be as many people buying them. So maybe that's what's happening with those compact cars. It's a little bit hard for me to tell. I'm going to have to dig a little bit more into that. But regardless, that's what's happening with the used car market. Values are going down, and they will most likely continue to go down until dealer inventory is close to non-existent with 2023 model year cars. That's what's going to, at least this year, that's what's going to continue to push these values down. And then obviously interest rates. If interest rates continue to stay high, which it sounds like they will, they're not going to go down anytime soon, that'll also push people out of the used car market. Now, I don't think we're going to have a crash this year. I think it's just going to be, month over month declines with wholesale values. So, if you are considering trading in your vehicle, understand that your trading value is going to get weaker and weaker as this year progresses. If these 23s keep sitting on dealer lots and if these interest rates stay high. I'll see you.